So, thank you for joining us today in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen, and I've got Jackie back with us.
Morning!
So, for those of you who don't know Jackie, come on Jackie, tell me who you are.
I am Jackie Heaton on Facebook, and then I'm the Baking Nanna on Instagram and Twitter, and I help run Twitter Bake Along.
She normally has a sidekick called Rob Allen, who's usually with us. Unfortunately, due to the snow, he's snowed in up in the northeast there, so we're very sad that Rob's not here.
It feels really weird now.
It does, doesn't it? One half of you. Do you know I was calling you Jackie Allen the other day?
Well, we're saying with the baking Mr. and Mrs, so why not?
I told everybody on Monday's Facebook Live, Jackie Allen will be here with Rob Allen. Do you think Tommy would be happy to have got
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care. Right.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so Jackie has now got the challenge of doing both demonstrations. So you know what it is on a Thursday, it's a baking session. So today Jackie is going to be making blueberry muffins and black cherry scones with our flavoured icing sugars. And of course we'll have the debate, so don't start yet, let's just wait. We'll have the debate.
Jam first.
Yes, I'm with you, jam first. Don't start.
Alright.
We'll bring up the debate after. So we're going to make those things for you. I'm just going to tell you a few new things that we've got in stock. Natalie Porter was amazing on Monday. You all went absolutely crazy. And we actually sold out of stock, which is an absolute first for Sugar and Crumbs on a Monday night. Completely sold out. Natalie was overjoyed. So we did forward you to her Etsy site as well. Natalie has given us some stock because it's not something we want to stock permanently. She's a small company, and to be fair, she wants to keep her stock just for her own company, but she's very kind to share it with the Sugar and Crumbs customers. So what she's done is she's updated our stock so that we still have some for this week. So anybody who wants the Ultimate and Peony bundle, they are back in stock. They won't be dispatched till tomorrow. So if you want those, they're back in stock. That's the full bundle at £28.95. And for those of you who missed, oh, by the way, thank you for all my birthday congratulations. I'm another year, 56, I'm knackered, 4 years till I'm 60. So Natalie made these amazing peony and rose on Monday night, absolutely gorgeous. Are we on there? Down, right. Made these peony and rose, can you hear that tapping? Can you hear it? It's like porcelain, isn't it? And she used the, can't think of the number, Squire's Kitchen. That's it, she used Squire's sugar paste. And can you hear it tapping? Just like porcelain, isn't it? It's lovely. I've just repeated that there. So they're absolutely amazing. I'm going to keep those forever. And I'm actually going to have a practice and see if I can get them just as good. So if we go back to the camera. So we're back in stock of those. If you want those, guys, grab them. I think when we just looked, I think there was only about 20 sets left. Also, you did ask for the veining tools. There's 3 veining tools. There's the Flute and Veiner by FMN, and I've just put these into stock as well. And this is the Veiner Friller and the Veiner, oh, they're both Veiner Frillers, these two. Oh, there you go, I've got 2 of these. I brought 2 of the wrong ones. Anyhow, but there's 2 sorts of veining tools. So have a look. One of them is so that you can make smiley faces on your models as well, which we're going to be doing in March. So if we put those away, let's go back to the camera. Yeah? Go back over here, John. Just make sure John's working. We've had to cancel our trip to Ireland. I put a little video. Maria made it into work today, and John had to go and get Jackie. So it's pretty heavy on those roads, isn't it? So let me just go over these again with you guys. So I just want to tell you about these because I quickly told you about them on Monday, but just for you Thursday, guys, let's tell you about them again. Sorry, Jackie.
No, you're right. I think they're a really good idea.
Yeah,
I like the 12 and 6 twist.
Yeah. Let's just get these here so I can tell you about these. Okay, so new range of cupcake boxes in stock. So these are for 10-inch cakes, okay? You slide them in sideways, slide them in. We've got the pink and blue spotty, so they're great for your baby showers. And then we've got the gold and silver as well. You could use them for baby showers for those people who don't want to actually declare. Because so many people are having a baby shower but they're still not telling you what it is, which I thought was strange because I went to one the other week and it was a baby shower, but you weren't going to be told what it was. Yeah. So anyhow, so then you've got the cupcake cases. They are the not cupcake boxes, they are matching, and these are great. And by the way, when you see anything with this round sugar and crumbs label on our website, it was only to protect our photograph. I get a photographer in to do all our photographs for us. He does an exact size to fit our website, and I just put those logos on to protect them, because if I don't, other people then get the pleasure of me paying for my photographer to nick the photographs for their own website. I know, they do.
Just one point, Averil's quite right. He said the flowers are made from Squire's flour paste, not sugar paste.
Well done, Avril. I knew I'd muck up. I always muck up. So, Squire's sugar paste, and we
Flour
do it
paste.
flour paste. There we go. Listen, I turned 56 yesterday. I'm suffering with my tinnitus.
Here's John behind the camera.
I've got a funny hit. My tinnitus is screaming its head off. My brain's like racking like mad, and I've got a million things to do. So, and I can't remember anything. I swear to God, I've started with Alzheimer's early. So these boxes, so you can use these for your cupcakes, 6 cupcakes, okay, so we're over here. So you can use these for your 6 cupcakes. We'll just put one of Jackie's muffins in. So they fit in nicely. Or you can turn them over and you can put your mini cupcake cases in. Let's just take one of those out. And you can put your minis in.
That's
Yeah,
really good.
good, isn't it? I know it's got a funny shape, but it's because there's no cake in there. And they've got these nice little holes here so that you can get your fingers in and pull them out, which is quite handy as well. So just wanted to tell you about those. So don't worry about the logos, because I know one of 2 of you have asked me, do the boxes come with the logos on? And they don't. I know one of 2 of you would like the logos on because you said you really like it, and a few of you don't want the logo on. So that was just to reassure you, it's just to protect our image. So don't worry about those. So we've got those in pink and white to go with the big box, the gold and silver as well, and then they brought out these lovely piping cups as well, baking cups, okay? They're in gold and white, and then we've got the blue ones as well, and they're in blue and white, and I'm sure next week or 2 the pink and white ones will be out, because I think it's strange that they haven't got pink and white, so I'm sure they must be on the way, because it's all part of the same set. Then we've also got these mini foils in stock, coming in colours. They're in bundles of, I'll have to double check, but I'm sure they're in bundles of 500s, okay? And they're on offer. They're fabulous. They're really very pretty. I'm going to be using those then on next week's Thursday's Facebook Live, so we'll see how they go. But lots of little different colours, and I'm sure they're in bundles of 500. Anybody wants to have a look at the website, you can find them, and they're the mini foils, okay? And we also have, and these are selling well, we also have the spotted baking cases. I think these are 200, I think. Can't remember. They come in pink, and I've got them on offer at £1.50. You have to check on the website. And then we've also got the mini muffin cases, which is great. So I'm going to be using all those next Thursday. So we'll see what those are like. They're really good fun. These I'm looking forward to using with nifty nozzles. So we'll have them next Thursday. Yeah? Then what else have I got to tell you? I think that's it. Oh, wait a minute. New flavoured icing sugars, you all know about it. As I said on Monday, I've come to the conclusion that we are a nation of alcoholics, because these have flown out. Absolutely flown out. You get yours today, don't you? Absolutely. I've never seen sales go crazy for gin and tonic and Prosecco. I'm actually a non-drinker. These are non-alcoholic. They're delicious. The warehouse smells amazing. Our warehouse always smells amazing anyhow, flavoured icing sugars. But my God, it really does smell of these. These are really quite potent. So gin and tonic and Prosecco, you can buy them individually. They're $2.99. I put them on offer. They're on offer for the whole of March, and then they'll go to their normal price. So they are $2.99 and they're on offer at £2.50. Or you can go and buy the bundle deal, 2 for £4. So grab them while you can. Maria's popped all the links on. Okay, so 2 for £4 and massive savings. So make sure you get those, guys. You back here? Yeah, got John doing hand signals. It's great. What do you think of our new camera system?
Do
you like it? It's your
I'll
go
probably
soon.
get all mixed up in it.
It's your go soon, Jackie. So I think I've done enough telling you about what we've got in stock. So I'm going to leave Jackie to get on with everything now. Do you want me to put the oven on for you? Would that be a good idea?
We're doing scones first, so 200.
200. Yeah, and do you need both ovens on?
Yeah, if you want, yeah, you can do. I think the other one's 180 for muffins.
Brilliant.
Yeah, 180 for muffins. Just
Right.
don't mix them up.
Oh yes. So John is going to shout out some hellos, and so I'll get John to shout out some hellos, and we'll say some hellos back. And I'm sure is Rob with us, by the way?
He best dad be.
Yeah.
He is, yes he is. Yep, thanks for joining, Rob.
So anybody who's just joined us, Rob Allen should be here today, but he's snowed in up in the northeast. So Jackie is doing his demo for him today, which is the cherry scones, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I always see Rob making beautiful scones, and I said to him, Rob, will you try it with our sugars? I've got a lady who makes scones for a business, and I was telling her they work with the sugars. So Rob very kindly has made, and he's made different flavours as well. So he was going to come down and make black cherry ones, and now Jackie's going to make them instead. And she's going to make these gorgeous blueberry muffins. I have told Jackie she's got to take all food home today because my diet is stop it.
My son's work's going to be very happy.
My diet is failing miserably. Okay, I seem to have starved myself and not lost a pound. And Maria, who's a skinny mini, who you'll see shortly, seems to be scoffing through all our Facebook Live stuff and hasn't put a pound on. Not fair, is it? Right, so I'm going to buzz off over there, and I'm going to leave the whole session to Jackie now. Catch up with you soon.
So I'm going to say a few hellos before we start.
Good morning,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, we've got Iris Shuttleworth, Gillian Sansom, Rob Allen, Pam Blake, Emily Richins, Jane Allen, Julie Crompton, Karen Mary, Elaine Wall, Kat Riley, Elaine Lawton, Deborah Gaffney, Jackie Richards, Alison Kane, Carol Smith, Carolina Neves, Natalie Porter. Hi Natalie.
Who's Natalie watching?
Avril Reed, Susan Hurst, Doreen Griffin. So apologies if we miss anyone, but we've got quite a long list. We've got
Deb from Wright's there.
Yep.
Deb.
Oh, is Deb from Wright's
Yeah,
in there?
yes.
All right, Deb the bread.
Yeah, well, we've got a good audience. We're up to 90.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Keep them coming.
So
over to you, Jackie.
Right, I was explaining to Carol before, these two bakes are not something that I normally do. So I think it's a good one because I'm going to show you, if you follow the recipe, it should be fine. And especially the scones, I'm dreading the scones because it's one of Rob's favourite things to make. So I'm like, I'm going to let him down here. So here we go. Right, so I've got my recipe wrote down. And just give me a shout if you need me to shout out again what we're putting in. So first of all, we're going to start off with 225 grams of flour, 40 grams of the black cherry sugar and crumbs, and 75 grams of spreadable butter. And I was thinking about this the other day because, right, I'm going to upset Carol here because I'm going to mention my favourite stock. But this is not stock, it is Lurpak.
Lurpak?
Yeah.
Jackie, what's going on?
Because when
I
I make biscuits and muffins and things like that, I do use proper butter. My cakes are always stock, but yeah. And what I was thinking is, I always see people getting stressed out about buttercream because the butter's too hard, and I think, well, why don't they just use spreadable? It's still butter, isn't it? Does it not work?
Not for the nifty nozzles, it's too
Does
soft.
it still too soft, even if you've had it in the fridge for a bit?
No,
it's not.
it won't hold.
Well, it's great.
The only way you can do it is by adding another extra 250 grams of icing sugar.
Right. Well, it's actually great for doing this because when you're doing your mixture with your fingertips, it goes in quicker. So there's a tip there. So now we're going to...
So, did you mention flour? Is it plain or self-raising?
It's 225 grams of self-raising flour.
That's from
That's
Elaine
now.
Lawton.
40 grams of the black cherry sugar and crumbs, and 75 grams of Lurpak spreadable.
Right. So Kat Riley says spreadable as in room temperature or is it spreadable? Learn pack spreadable.
You can either straight from the fridge or
yes, because they do it in the plastic tubs, don't
yeah,
they?
yeah.
So that is spreadable.
The
That
spreadable
one,
is
isn't
one,
it? If
yeah.
it comes in a tub, it's spreadable. If it's in
the packet,
it's
hard,
blocked.
isn't it?
It's hard, yeah.
But this is great for when you're doing your fingertips because it all mix in quicker. Because otherwise, when you're doing it by out of the block, it seems to take forever. Not so much for me because my hands are always boiling hot. But, so we're just making this, and you just want to keep bringing it up, doing it through your fingertips. You need quite a nice big bowl really for this.
I just thought we didn't bring food mixer in. Are you going to do
I
the
don't
cream by
need-
hand?
Yeah, I'll do it by hand.
I'm going to make black cherry cream.
Yes, for our scone debate later. So you see how quick that's more or less. And another trick here as well is to make sure you've got all your butter. Give it a good shake and you'll see all the lumps come to the top if you've not quite got it all in. There we go, just give that flour a good more. Right, I'm going to have to keep bobbing off. This is the worst of this kind of bake because your hands get so messy, don't they?
Alright.
But that's proper home baking for you, isn't
Yeah.
it? And
So we're getting lots of love, arts and lights,
oh,
Jackie.
thank you. And to be honest, I like going back to this because I do use my mixer a lot at home. But it's nice to go back to a bit of, you know, get your hands in there and get messy. Just going to wash my hands. I won't be a minute.
Yeah, no worries. You're round there. I'll put it all in for you. There you go.
Thank you.
A clean tea towel. And do you want to wet yourself a cloth? So there's a clean cloth you can wet to take with you. So you can wipe your hands. Great. So does anybody want to ask any questions? Let me just read out things now that you're going to ask.
Yeah, well, I'm mixing it. I'll do a good
Yeah.
idea.
Karen Mary says that you are both naturals, you and Rob.
Oh, bless her. Thank you. Even though you put your cream the wrong way around on your scones,
Oh, we're
woman.
not on that debate yet, Jackie.
I know, but I just had to say that to her to upset her.
Right, so we're back.
Right, so next we want to put a beaten egg in. I've already given it a good beforehand. And then 3 tablespoons of milk.
Nancy Craig has said that she's tuned in by accident and she just happens to be making cherry scones,
Oh, that's
which are
even
now in the
better.
oven. Wait till you made them with our flavoured icing sugar as
Oh,
well.
yeah, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Because even when you put the fruit in that you want in, like your cherries or your raspberries or whatever you're making, you do taste, but they enhance the taste, so
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
better.
That black cherry flavour's lovely.
That's my favourite, I have
Yeah.
to say.
Emily Richins says John is the only one that pronounces her surname right.
Oh, yeah, she's
I
in
was going to
love.
say,
She's
don't
in
rely
love.
on me for anything. You're a good boy, aren't you, John?
Right, now this is optional. I've just cut up a few black cherries, but I mean, you don't have to put them if you don't want to. And then just bring this bit together with a knife because it saves your hands a little bit. Always thinking. And just bring it all together. And there's so many recipes out there for scones. I don't know if this is any. I tell you what recipe I have been using for scones, when I do now and again. It's Paul Hollywood's, and they're made with bread flour, and it's really strange because you wouldn't think it, would you? But they're really nice and fluffy. So if you ever want to try something different, try it with bread flour. And what you've got to do now is bring it all together with your hands. The thing is with scones, try not to mess with them too much because that's one of the reasons that they don't rise very well sometimes. You know, like when you're doing some like a dough, you sort of give them a good kneading and that. You don't want to do it with your scone mix. You just want to make sure all your stuff's together in your pot.
So how many of you guys are actually snowed in? Give us a shout where you are.
Well, we know one, don't we? Our Robert.
Robert is. But did you see Maria coming? Well, we videoed you getting on the drive today.
Oh, did you?
And the dogs were going bonkers when you and John arrived, and we videoed Maria getting here. She got here by 2 buses as well. So how many of you other guys are snowed in today? Elaine Lawton's going to make these later with her granddaughter.
Oh God, yeah, all this kind of stuff's great for with the kids. They like getting messy hands, just like us.
That's what she said. She'll love getting handy messy.
Just bring it onto your board, on a floured board. Just give it a little pat. So not messing about with it too much. And then grab your rolling pin and do it as gently as you can. This is probably not the best rolling pin to do it with, to be honest, because it weighs a ton. But just don't be pushing down too hard.
I've got somebody else's name wrong. I always call Helen Miles Mills.
Right.
And she's just shouted out, so it's the first time I've ever noticed, and that's because she's had to put it in writing so I can read it. Sorry, Helen.
It's amazing how many different ways people spell my name, Jacqueline. To be honest, I don't even know how to spell it because I don't really use it.
Your name?
Well, I use Jackie, don't I? So, and the only reason I've got Jacqueline on Facebook is because Facebook took my page off me. Right, and then with your cutter,
I did bring some cutters.
I've got this one. Just give it a bit of flour so it doesn't stick.
Cutters.
And then just a minute.
You're welcome.
Those little leaf boxes then?
Oh, I've got 2 sheets.
And you need a tray with a liner or some baking paper. Oh, I forgot to say, don't roll it out too thin. That's another thing, another mistake people make. They make it too thin, and they say my scones didn't rise. Well, that's the reason they're too thin. So try and go about, I think about 3 centimetres. No, just push it in a little bit if you've got a bit like me. When you're cutting, don't press down and twist because it makes your scones go a funny shape. So the easiest thing to do, put it on top and just give it a whack.
We sell cutters as well. I've just put them there for you.
Oh, sorry.
You can use your cutter. If anybody hasn't got any, we do sell them in packs of 6.
Let's put that in.
Susan Tyrrell hasn't been out for 3 days. She's stuck in.
To be honest, I've not really been out much.
Tommy says he can't spell your name and he's married to you.
Who are you?
So Geraldine Kisby is ahead of the game. She said how many grams for the blueberry, but we're on black cherry, Geraldine, at the moment.
All right. Yeah, we're not there yet, love.
Kerry Morgan says fantastic. A snow day means that she's at home and she can watch our Thursday live.
Oh, like I said before, try not to work your dough too much if you can help it. You see, I press down with this bit just to, and it's very hit and miss how many you get, plus how many, you know, the size of your cutter. Like the other day, I think I used one that was a bit smaller than this one, and no, a bit bigger, sorry, and they took 13 minutes. And when I was doing my testers, I must have used this one, which was smaller, and for some reason I just looked at the oven at 10 minutes and they were just going brown. I was thinking, oh God. So I had to take them out. So my
All depends on the size.
yeah, just depending on the size, I just keep an eye on them after 10 minutes, and then if they've, you know, if they start getting a bit too brown, take them out. Usually you usually get one that's like a little tester one.
Yeah, it's funny, you always get one that's a tester
Yeah.
one, isn't it? Yeah.
And I hate waste me, so even
Yeah.
this little bit will just get rolled up by hand.
You have to remember,
she has
as
to
much
keep
as
telling me because
As much as I'm over here, keep
I
looking
know
at John.
it's so hard. So that's going to be our little tester one there.
Yeah.
So I've got
You can make me
seven
one.
and seven and a bit out of mine.
Since I'm only allowed one scone today, you can make me a big one.
Right, because I said I don't like waste. Some people sprinkle a bit of flour on top of them. Personally, I like to put a bit of an egg wash on top. And because I've already put my eggs out ready for my muffins, I'm just going to pinch them and use a bit off the top because I don't want to crack an egg just for a tiny little bit. When you put your egg wash on, or if you, some people put milk on, Try not to let it drip down the sides. You only need a tiny little drop. Just give them a little bit of colour. Just move that on. And you're not going to miss this little bit out of the muffins. So. And that's a good excuse to make both on the same day.
Gillian Sansom says, a woman after her own heart, she hates waste as well.
I can't stand it.
But do you know what? The kids love that little last one. I remember when I used to make scones for my kids, and that little last one they would fight over when it came out the oven.
It's like when I do my giant cupcakes, you have to trim them, and for ages I thought, what can I do with this?
Rob Allen says, the little one is always the chef's treat.
Yeah. And I thought, what can I do with this? And then the other week I scrunched it all up and made a sort of a sorry excuse as a cake pop out of my bits. And I sent them to work with the kids thing, and I was like, please say I'm sorry for the state of them, because I'm really, but I don't want to waste them. And when they come in, they was like, when they want to know when you're going to make some more. I was like, but they looked a mess. They enjoyed it. Right, so these need to go in the oven now. Like I said, so you want 200 fan, which is about gas mark 5, but I'm not 100% on that, so please don't quote me. Put them in for 10 minutes, just keep checking, 10 to 15 minutes depending on the size, but just keep checking them after 10 minutes. Right,
And the 200 oven is that one there. Super. They look good then, Jackie.
Can you do my timer?
Oh, I'll get everybody else on time.
Right, so it's 11:28 on there.
Yeah, 11:28 guys, how long do they need? 10 minutes? And then
After 10 minutes we'll check them, yeah.
Alright. Somebody keep an eye, Rob, that's your job.
Right, is there any questions or anything while I just do a little bit of
Yeah,
that?
do you want to repeat the recipe again? So
Yeah,
when you're
no
ready?
problem. Wear black, use flour. Right, so it's 225 grams of self-raising flour, 40 grams of the black cherry or whichever flavour you want to use, 75 grams of spreadable butter, 1 beaten egg, and then 3 to 4 tablespoons of milk, it depends. Because what I said about the milk is that I actually put 3 into the mixture. The 4th one, sometimes, if you don't add fruit, or if you add fruit, sometimes the dried fruit especially, the mixture is too dry to roll. So that extra tablespoon is if you just add that little bit more to get it to mix together. And yeah, that's it. That's all the ingredients. Thank you.
Super. We're just going round with the camera again now.
I'm just gonna pass this over to
Yeah, do
you.
you want to have a little tidy up? What do you need moving out of the way?
Just that.
Yep, that's me. Super.
Oh, phew,
Nice to have somebody in the kitchen cleaning up.
that's Rob's bit out of the way.
No, you've got to do the cream yet, Jackie.
I get
Yeah,
those
yeah.
because me and Rob do the bake along. You get the odd person that will see the pictures and they'll come on and they'll go, oh, I'd love to bake like that. I was exactly the same. It's, you know, follow the recipe. That's everyone I speak to. I say, follow the recipe. It might not be like the picture at the end, but as long as you follow the recipe, you'll probably have something that's edible. And that's the main thing.
So Jackie, tell them about how you met Rob, how you and Rob set up Twitter Bake Along, and what exactly is it? Because I see Twitter Bake Along and you do have a lot of the same people on there, so
Yeah.
how can we encourage new people to join? Because that's what we're
Yeah.
looking for, isn't
Yeah,
it?
this is it.
Yeah.
What it is we want people to go in the kitchen and bake, and especially like with the kids as well, if they've got little ones, teach them how to bake, give them something to do. It's like, it's so easy to put the telly on for them or bang them on the iPad for an hour, get them in the kitchen. If you go onto my page especially, you'll see me and Teddy, my grandson, or me and Maggie, we bake at least once a week, if not more. And they absolutely love it, and it costs next to nothing to do. So, a couple of years ago, because me and Rob both like Bake Along, British Bake Off, and I said to him, oh, wouldn't it be nice if we could get a few people to bake along with the show? So we put it out on Twitter, and a few people come forward and said, yeah, we fancy doing it. So what we did was we did the challenges every week on Bake Along, And then when it finished, on Bake Off, and then when it finished, everyone was like, oh, what are we going to do now? So we said, oh, if you want to carry on, we will do, and this is what we've been doing. So we made up the hashtag, which is Twitter Bake Along. If you use the hashtag and you bake, put the pictures up. Some people put pictures up that are not even something we bake, but we still retweet them because we're just happy that people have baked. Each week, we pick something. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's a bit out of even my comfort zone. I've actually learned how to make pastry. I'm dead chuffed with myself because I'm actually making pastry now. Bread, I never did that a couple of years ago. So it's really nice because it's surprising how much it makes you feel good that you've actually made something. So this is how, me and Rob, that's how we met on Twitter, just baking, showing each other people's bakes and things like that. And since then, we've come doing like these lives at Sugar and Crumbs, and we did the foodie festivals last year. So I'm just sort of like, they're proud of us.
What are you getting about? I knew it was on the news.
Yeah, oh God, yeah, it was on the news. That was a Bake Off.
Did you get asked the night before to fly down or something?
I got a message on Twitter on I think it was the Monday, and Bake Off was starting on the Tuesday. British Bake Off. And they said, oh, do you fancy coming to London and talking about the Bake Off? And I was like, when? And they said, tomorrow. And I was like, I'm in Manchester. And he says, don't worry, do you fancy doing it? So I was like, all right, then I'll go. And within an hour, they booked me train, taxis, everything. And it was so surreal because I went, I think it was about 6 o'clock in the morning to London. I got off the train, went to the studio, did the bit which lasted probably 5 minutes, if that, on the telly. And then I was actually home at 2 o'clock in the afternoon making pizzas for tea.
It's amazing.
It was like, yeah, so
surreal, that, isn't it?
That's really, really, really.
So when you do Twitter Bake Along competitions, and to make it fair and honest.
There, so I can talk to you.
No, you talk to John. Ask the question. So to make it fair, when you're doing the competitions, you always make sure that everybody puts a little card in front of their recipe, because sometimes people have used past things that they've made ages ago. Yeah. And just so that people understand why you get people to do that.
What we do is each week we pick a bake. So this week we've coincided it with Sugar and Crumbs, and we've given our bakers the option to make the scones or the muffins. And when they've done their bake, you take a picture, and then we ask them to put a little handwritten note on, which is #TwitterBakeAlong. And the reason for that is when they were, because most weeks we try to give a prize. We have lovely companies like Carol's, or we've just had Foxes who've donated prizes, but some weeks we haven't got any, so me and Rob will buy the prize and give it out. Because some people think, oh well, I made that last year, they'll put the picture on. Well, look, we think that's not fair to them that have actually gone out, bought the stuff, baked it, took the picture. So this little handwritten tag shows that you've actually baked with us that week. So that's the reason for it. And like I said, we have some nice little prizes, you know, they're not massive. We have had massive ones, we've had mixers, we've had all sorts. But most weeks, you know, it's a little something to do with baking, or maybe a little, like a couple of weeks ago with it being Valentine's, we did a little chocolate bumble. So it's just an incentive, and to be honest, a lot of people will bake even though, you know, they're not really bothered about the price because they're just enjoying the baking. And then you get some people that go, oh well, there's no point in me doing it because everyone else's bakes are amazing, but we're not there for that. We're not there. Yeah, they are amazing, but we're there because we just want you to bake. And if you look at past winners, it doesn't have to be the best bake, it doesn't have to be the best picture. It's the fact that you've actually made an effort. So that's the main thing.
And that's what it's about, really. It's just having a bit of fun, having a bit of confidence, and once you get involved, it is good. Because like I've only really started baking since I've had Sugar and Crumbs. You've been doing it as a bit of a hobby, and then you've progressed. It's like you said, you didn't do much, but now look at you making bread and all sorts of things, that you would have been scared of.
My thing is cake.
Can I just say, I've never made bread because I'm scared to death.
Well, this is the thing, right? I don't know if anybody's been watching the Back in Time thing, you know, where they follow a family with the food things. Can't remember, is it Back in Time for Tea? And this last couple of ones. The other night, it was the 1970s, and it was when all the strikes was on, you know, like for the miners, and then there was no fuel and there was no electric. And it just brought so many bad memories for me in a way, because my mum was horrendous in the kitchen. I was saying to John before, the only two things I can give her credit for was a gravy and a pea and ham soup. Everything else was egg and chips. Anything that she could fit in the frying pan and the chip pan, that was my mum.
I love those days of egg and chips.
Well, don't get me wrong, I do love egg and chips.
I said to John the other week, I've not had egg and chips for about 20 years. And sometimes you just want to come home and have egg and chips.
That me and Tommy the other week, we sat down to fish fingers, chips and beans, and I loved it. You know, because it was like, but so when all this was going on in the 70s, probably quite a few will remember. Bread was really short. You couldn't get hold of it. It was rationed. So my mum decided she was going to bake her own. My God, we never heard the end of it. It carried on for months after the strike, that she had to make this loaf of bread every couple of weeks. Every couple of days, and she actually scared me. She scared me in making bread. So when we started doing the challenges and bread was coming up, I was like, oh God, what we're going to do here? And I actually went on to, there's a man called Baker who is really well known, called Peter Sidwell, and he's got a video on YouTube, and I watched it, I paused it, I rewound it for a few times,
right, they've been in the
and then, oh nice one, and then I bought all the stuff, and I actually followed him step by step, and I made my first loaf. And you know what? Couple more minutes.
Couple more minutes. Yep.
And I made my first loaf, and you know what? I was so proud. I was nearly running down the street with it, doing a Lion King with my loaf. But that's what it does.
I would have paid money to see that.
And you know what? Whenever I do bread now, I just think of Peter, because I think if it hadn't been for him watching his video, I would never ever have made that loaf. So when I can, I do try to do little videos and things like that. But this is another thing with the bake along. If anyone asks, you know, they say, oh, I'm a bit worried about doing this, even if we can't help you, we'll pass you on to somebody who can. So that's another good thing, because you'll learn off other people, especially say like me or Rob, who are just home bakers. If we'll do the best we can, if not, we'll pass you on to someone who knows. So please never ever say you can't bake.
No, and we'll get Rob to put the link on for the Twitter bake along.
Yeah.
And if you don't join, just join Twitter or Instagram, and Jackie will tell you more about it.
We call it the Twitter bake along, but if you are on Facebook or you're on Instagram and use that hashtag, we'll try and pick it up somewhere along the line, or tag me or tag Rob in it. We'll try and pick it up the best we can. It is a lot harder for us on Facebook and Instagram, but we try our best. But you know, we'll do what we can to find you.
Brilliant. No worries. So,
Right,
blueberry
yeah.
scones. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get
Can I
them.
give these another minute?
Yeah, go on, 1 minute. Yeah,
It's
so
just a 40.
get baking.
Absolutely. Right. So, blueberry scones.
Yes, right.
Blueberry scones. Blueberry muffins.
Just flip my.
Scone mad. So you know, if you wanted to put cheese in the scones, then just put it in the mix exactly the same.
Yeah, just if you're doing something like just swap it over. It's easy to do. You can put whatever you want in there, you know, and like if you're doing your sweet ones, just match it with the icing sugar, which will give it that bit of a nice burst. Oh, when I was on about bake along, we have some lovely people who help us, because trying to get it out there, that's the thing as well. So I just thought I'd mention my bling this morning.
What was that?
Right, this is my little baking Nanna pin, and this is off a lady called Claire Clark, who's very well known in the bakery industry, and she is brilliant with us. She retweets, she gives prizes, she always encourages people. So if you see her floating about, give her a nod, because she's a lovely lady. And this one is from a man called, well, I call him Sweetie. He's called Martin. He's called Tweetmaster, and he's really good as well. But I just wanted to mention them too, because they do help us quite a lot and help us retweet and get people involved.
Fantastic.
Right, so we're on to our muffins.
We've got Martin here today, I think.
Oh, has he come on? He said he'd try.
Martin Mullen?
Yeah, that's it.
He's been and gone.
Oh, has he gone? Oh, well.
Martin's been
If he watches back, he'll know, won't
yeah, he's been watching, but he's had to go to work now. Karen Mary's had to leave because she's got a bread in the oven that she needs to sort out. We've had a new lady, Karen Jane Smith, join us.
Oh, lovely.
Who somehow seems to know that my dogs look lovely, but maybe that was because of the previous comment that we put on the page.
Right.
So I'll
Get the scones out and then we'll start the... Oh, they're fine. Yeah, they're fine.
So
Do you want to have a quick look on...
I'm not sure that's good.
Just hold them.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
While we've been
Which
gassing...
one's mine? Where's that baby one
I
gone?
know, it's...
That baby one's growing.
Yeah, it's that one, isn't it? Yeah.
Like he's bigger than the others.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Good, I'm looking forward to one of those. Let's get those cooled down.
Right.
Can you pass me that wire rack out there, please?
Right, so we're going to do our muffins now. So, for the muffins, you'll need 2 eggs, bean, 250 grams of self-raising flour, 120 mils of milk, 100 grams of sugar, 150 grams of spreadable butter again, and some blueberries, which are optional. That's totally up to you. You could just have them with the icing sugar. That's no problem. And to start off, you need to cream your butter.
They smell good, those.
They do, don't they? And your icing sugar together. This is another thing I like using the icing sugar for, because it's dead easy to cream up. This is another good one for the kids. Oh, the big kids in my house. Tommy.
Yeah.
As soon as he come in last night, because I made them few to bring with me today, and he was like, "Oh, are they in that?" I went, "No." Anyway, there was a couple spare, so he was out.
Janet Ann Brown's come up with a road trip for us.
Oh.
So it's she says that she thinks Jackie, Rob and Carol are due to a trip to Essex called the Summer Baking Trip.
Why not? You see how quickly.
Let's start hiring a camper van.
See how quickly that's all done. There we go.
That was quick, wasn't it?
That's what I mean. That's the best with the spreadable butter as well.
And that's easy for the kids to do as well, isn't it? You're just weighing it, they pour it in.
The thing is, if, like I said before, if you're using the hard butter as well, kids will get fed up. They'll just go, do this, because Teddy's the same. If there's anything that's a bit, he's only 2, bless him, but if it's a bit too hard, he'll just give it me. Whereas that, he'd be quite happy mixing that, and he'll get it to the consistency that you need straight away. Next, you want to add your eggs. So this is 2 beaten eggs. You don't have to beat them, but I always do, just because it mixes in easier.
We're all saying how nice those scones look.
We just want it to get to a nice...
Cara Ali's just joined us. Good morning.
Morning.
Norma Turnbull has just joined us as well.
It feels so weird saying morning. It feels so weird saying morning, because we're usually here at night, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, because you've not done a morning
No,
session,
this is
have
my
you?
first one.
Yeah.
Right, next thing you want to do is fold in your flour.
Norma Turnbull says she's just joined. She wants to do those scones, so she's going to get some Lurpak after.
Oh, God. So don't be beating this, just fold it in nice and slow. Because that's the thing with scones and muffins are quite, they are quite a hard bake, and it sounds daft because they are easy to do, as in, you know, when you look at it, but it is down to taking things slow and doing the things right, because with muffins, if you mix this like you would do, say, a sponge mix dead quick, your muffins will be like pancakes. So nice
That's a
and
bit
slow.
like your folding in recipe, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're mixing it quick is when they're doing the all-in-one recipe.
Yeah.
Always amazes me, how does an all-in-one recipe work just as well as folding in?
I don't know.
Because you throw everything all in one, you can beat the living daylights out of it. But if you put things individually,
Yeah.
You've got to
It's
do it a lot
weird, isn't
slower.
it? But to be honest, I say, like when I've seen you do your cakes and you fold in your flour, I don't fold in my flour.
Oh, you know what? Lynn Burgess is on my side. It's too cold to be on a diet, Carol.
Yeah.
Have one of those scones. Oh, thanks, Lynn. I agree with you. Bria.
Right, that's more or less folded in. Now that, like I said before, right, this is totally up to you. This is optional. I was talking to Carol about it before. I made my blueberry muffins for my Twitter Bagel on Tuesday, and I threw all my blueberries in the mix now. But when I baked them, because I'm quite heavy-handed, most people associate baking Nanna with go big or go home because everything's like bigger than what it should be, and that's the thing with me. So I'd probably put twice as much blueberries in as what I should have done, and I think a lot of it is to taste. So I'm going to put my blueberries in when I've finished, because I found they come out nicer and the muffin actually baked a lot better. So I just wanted to let you think. Right, no, just get my milk. Right, this is the same thing as the flour, just add it a little bit at a time and just fold it in nicely. Because, for one, if you put all the butter in, the milk in at once, it'll be forever trying to mix it, because it'll just be like a sloppy mess and it just won't fold together. See, these are all things of experience. Plus, your kitchen ends up like a milk splash zone because it just goes
Well, as I say, the
everywhere.
kitchen smells gorgeous. Our kitchen, I must admit, our kitchen always smells gorgeous on a Monday and a Thursday.
Yeah. So it's like me, I make a lot of cakes, but I don't eat cake. But I love the smell, and I love the house, the smell of a house as well.
Mm.
And it's like, it saves a fortune on candles and air fresheners.
You don't need to when you
No,
bake.
just have bread and chocolate going round. The worst one was I went to the paper shop a few weeks ago to get something, and the woman behind the counter, she was stood there and she started sniffing, and I started feeling a bit, you know. And then when I got to the till, she went, "Have you been baking?" And I went, "Yeah." She went, "You smell like chocolate cake." I went, "Oh, it's better than being in it." But do you know, when I stood at the counter, they've got this like, you know, a CCTV camera on your face, and I kept looking at it and I could see my face going redder and redder and redder. This was before she said what it was, and I'm thinking, oh God, is it me? Because there was only like one person in front of her, and you could tell it was a smell thing. And then when I got there, she said, "Oh, thank God for that, I smell like chocolate cake."
Right, Elaine Lawson said they're all laughing their heads off. Yeah, we can confirm Jackie does not smell a BO. Today she smells a blueberry black cherry. No, it's not dodgy anyhow. So, right, so let's just ask. Elaine Lawson says, so why do muffin recipes use oil and not milk then? Is there a difference?
Do you know what? Because I am a home baker, it's like when people ask me technical questions, I sort of like go blank. I honestly don't know. But personally, I just like this version, so I think it's just all, if you try and make a few different recipes with the different things and get what makes you happy, that's the only thing that I can say, because I don't know the reason why.
They love the live feed because we just say what we've got to say. So they find it really amusing that you were embarrassed.
But the other side to it is just before, my grandchildren are away at the moment and I'm feeling very sad. They're in China and my granddaughter's nearly 10, and she come up to me and gave me a cuddle, and she just went, "Oh Nana, you smell beautiful." I said, "Oh, thank you." I said, "It's my perfume that Mummy bought me for Christmas." She went, "No, it's just cake, Nana. It's just cake." And I went, so to be honest, I don't know why I have perfume, really, I suppose.
May as well just get a shaker with different flavoured icing sugars.
So there you go, nice, just nice and slow. And you get a nice
Have we
smooth
seen that?
mix.
Yeah.
Can you see okay? Yeah? Right, Carol's done one on me because I usually use just like a little muffin.
Yeah, show what you normally use.
Yeah, this is what I normally use.
And they come out well, look.
Yeah. But when I have used these, I must admit I'll use a piping bag.
Right. Why didn't you ask him? Could he give you a piping bag?
No, it's alright.
Do you want them? You've got them here.
No,
Do
it's
you want
fine. No, it's fine.
Right. Go on.
But if they look a bit messy, I'm blaming Carol.
It's because I want a big muffin, you see.
These might take longer, these big muffins then. And we've got a tip here. Carol was saying before, how do you get your muffins so, like, what you call a muffin top, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which I've got plenty of and stuff. The trick is, you can't do it in these, obviously. But if you're using the ones that I've just shown you what I did, fill them right to the very top. Don't treat them like a cupcake case and 3/4 fill, because you won't get a muffin top.
Just said, Geraldine Kisby just said, how much blueberry did you put in?
Of the icing sugar,
Yeah.
I think 100 grams. If you were using the muffin cases that I used, you'd probably get I'd say between 8 and 10. But with these big ones, I'm going for 6. I said we're going for 6 with these.
Yeah, but they're going to be great. Me and Maria are going to enjoy one of them. You can have one of them.
Here I am with my
See,
waist.
John will probably eat these as well. He is going to have one. He's nodded because it's got no buttercream on. He's no buttercream man.
My Tommy is exactly the same. When he walks in the kitchen, because everyone goes, oh, I bet everyone loves, bet your husband loves you. No, not really, because he'll go, buttercream again, because he can't stand it. So if I make him anything, I have to put fresh cream in, or like John, he'll eat something like this.
Janet Brown says that when she makes cake, she takes them to go to work. Sometimes they can be still warm, so when she walks into the staff canteen, they can smell her as she arrives.
Well, because you don't know where my kids work, my son sent me a funny thing yesterday. He said, look at this, and there was an email going around at work, and it said, it was saying thank you to all the staff for being so good for this month. And it said, you'll find some cakes and biscuits on one of the tables at the end, but don't expect baking Nanna's standards because they're nowhere near. And I thought, oh, that's really nice, because I bake so much. I started baking helps me when I'm stressed, right? So if you see a lot of baking going on, you know my stress level. Because while my children have been in China, I've baked like 2 or 3 times a day, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but because Tommy's like he is, half the stuff I do make, he's not keen on. So what I do is I just box it all up and it goes to the kids' work. So they love it. They have a field day, and they're my testers as well. Right, so I'm just gonna pop. Might be able to get 4 on here. I know you're not gonna get. No, I'll go for 3. I know you're not gonna get really a blueberry down at the bottom, but the icing sugar will give it the flavour anyway. And I just think they look nicer with the blueberries showing on top.
Can you reach for it?
Now when I was doing it and I put them in the mix, oh my god, I must put double that amount in. And to be honest, it was like, there was not really much.
Shelley Rayner says it helps with her stress levels too.
I think
It's amazing really. I think sometimes you just need something to do with your hands when you're stressed, isn't it? And to, you know what, you can just go into daydream mode, can't
That's it. And especially if you're doing something that you're not used to doing, because you're concentrating on that, your stress comes down because you're more happy doing what you're doing. And there we go. Now these are going to go into the oven for around 20 minutes. These might take 25 because they're a lot bigger. 180 fan. There we go.
180 fan or
Yeah,
280?
180. Oh no, yeah, Yeah, the scones are 200.
Right.
Yeah, these are 180.
There we go. Pop them in for you.
There you go.
There you
Oh,
go.
the fudgy is quite warm in here
Yeah.
now.
Right then, so you need some cream, don't you?
Yes. Now we're
Cream
going
first.
to Scone Gate, everybody. If any of my friends or Rob's friends are watching on Twitter, we know this lovely lady called Susie Pelter, who you probably, a few of you might know. She won Lorraine Kelly's baking thing a few years back.
Was it way back in 2013?
Yeah, it's going quite a bit now. And she likes to put her cream on before the jam, which we all think is a no-no. And every time it comes up, we end up having a big debate about it. And the other day, she made a comment and she said, me and Baking Nanna nearly always come to blows over this. So I did a poll on Twitter and guess who won?
You did.
So it was like, in your face.
So in a minute, don't start yet, but in a minute we'll have a little thing
Poll, yeah.
and see what we all think. So just don't jump ahead of the gun yet, because we'll keep everybody together whilst we'll stop. So I'm just getting these out because obviously I want to taste them.
See, we know that it is a regional thing, and it's is it Cornish and
Well, my family come from Devon
Devon.
and Cornwall, so I'll tell you what my family do afterwards, which I always think is the right way.
oh, right.
And to be fair, I'm up here in the north, and it's the same for us northerners.
Yeah. See, this is the thing.
Well, that's what John does. He's from Ireland.
See, I do understand it about this regional thing. That's fine. Because if you're brought up with it, I suppose you don't know any different, do you? But I think if you do know different, it should be jam first.
Shut up. So, what are we going to do? We're mixing the cream, aren't we? We've got some blueberry, some black cherry there.
Yeah. I always put some icing. I think they call it chantilly cream, but I'm not sure. Because I always wonder, because I've always, when I've done double cream, I've just whipped it up. But then I thought, oh, so I tried a bit of the sugar and crumbs in, and then I actually googled it because I thought, is it a thing? And it actually is. So if you put even like normal icing sugar, it just gives it a bit sweeter taste.
Yes.
I'm not a mad cream lover, but when I have had it, I always think it can taste just a bit. I just think there's nothing there. Why do people go mad about cream? There's no taste. Whereas if you add it a bit of sugar and crumbs, yes, I will eat it then.
Yeah.
And
I've got to be honest, you know, it's not just for whipping cream. To me, you know, like if you're having a bowl of fruit and you just want to put pouring cream on, just stir a tablespoon into the pouring cream.
If you're doing something, you know, like raspberries can be a bit tart.
Yeah.
Just put a couple of tablespoons over the top when you're draining them.
Yeah.
Gives it a nice.
Yeah. And it's also nice if you've got any of them to go with your apples. So if you want to make an apple crumble or an apple pie, you can add the icing sugar to it just to add your flavour.
But I don't usually measure. It doesn't really matter. This is another thing down to taste.
Pointless me giving that big spoon.
Well, as well, yeah. But I usually put about 3 tablespoons in, and that usually works about right for something that size.
Oh, they've started the debate. You can't start yet. Look at those naughty people. Kerry,
I'm
Karen,
going to
Richard,
play with
Kat Riley. No, we're not saying nothing.
this
Elaine
sad
Norton.
excuse of a bit. Do you know what? When I was doing the baking for today, I was actually weighing everything out. So I was doing everything double, and I had all my equipment out. And I thought, should I just put it all in my bag? Because my whiskers, I don't know about anybody else who bakes, you get used to. Maria had to help me before with the scales, and I said, I use scales all the time, but because they're not mine, it feels, I don't know, it's still really bad. And I looked at my whisk and I thought, should I take my whisk with me? And then I thought, no, and so we might be here a while, ladies and gentlemen.
You could have Freehand Gate the other week. I couldn't measure anything properly.
Do you know, I've only just not long since gone over to digital, and I'm still on pounds and ounces, me. I'm terrible. I wrote everything down in grams, but when I'm at home, everything's pounds and ounces with me. And we might be here a while with this, because I'm not sure it's whisking up us all. But
It will do. It won't take long. Come on, get some speed in it. Show them how fast you can do
I
it.
have
You've got good
problems.
strong arms there, Jackie. Come
I
on, stop
haven't,
making
though, that's the
excuses.
problem. I've got no bloody thingy in my wrist at all. That's the one thing I do miss, because I do have problems with my wrist.
I did offer to bring in the mixer and
I
she
know.
said no.
Well, do you know what? That's one thing I wouldn't do. I don't.
Because it's done in seconds.
Because, well, not so, there's a fine line
Yes.
with cream, and it's like
Yes.
1 minute it looks quite there, you do it a couple of months and it's gone.
Well, in fairness, our Laura was here a few weeks ago and she said if you do overbeat, just put in another tablespoonful of cream.
Oh, right.
You don't have to, she just put that in and that softened it up again.
And I do find that normal double cream takes a bit longer than, like, I use a lot of Elmley,
yeah.
which is a double cream, but
Do
it's
you want
like
to give that to John to do then?
do you want to have a go, John?
Yeah,
Thank
John will
you.
do that. So, should we show them these? Look, we haven't got the muffins out of the oven yet. So, some of you guys have started early, okay? So let's start the debate now. So what we want to know is, what do you do? Do you put butter and jam first or cream first? And then Jackie and I will tell you what we do. So you can start now. Butter and jam first or cream first?
I think whatever wins, we should do it on our scone.
Pardon?
Whatever wins, we should do on our
Scones.
scone.
The other thing is, I call them scones. We'll go back to that. Others call them scones.
Scones, yeah. The scones to me.
Scones, aren't they?
I think scones is very... So it's never going to happen with me.
Jams first, jams first.
And that's another
Butter
thing,
and jam.
because that's another thing I can ask you at home. When I do them, I can't really think, but do you put butter on as well? Someone was telling me the other day they put butter
I
on.
put butter on.
With
I
the
put
cream and
butter-
jam?
No, it depends, because I'm dieting now, I just put jam on.
Right.
But if I'm really honest, I'm being indulgent, I love going to a hotel down in Devon called Salt and Sands,
Right.
and it does an amazing afternoon tea. And they give you the butter and the jam and proper Devon clotted cream.
Right.
So you've got to put the butter on then. So put butter, jam.
I was going to
Clotted
say,
cream.
Tommy, he would, but I would never dream of putting butter on.
Yeah.
So I just think it's just too...
Today
It might be just jam today.
Yeah, it might just jam today.
We might have to pretend.
Should I go and get the mixer?
Yeah, give it here for 1 more minute.
You saying John's not strong enough?
No, it's that whisk. It's nothing to do with it.
Is it that whisk,
I'll
isn't it?
defend us, John.
I'm not bored.
It's sort of like bouncing when you're whisking it. It's not actually...
We've got the metal whisk next door, haven't we, in the drawers?
Oh, a metal one of it.
Oh,
better.
look.
Oh,
we're getting
we're
a bit
getting
better.
there. Oh, yeah.
Right, I'm nearly there. Come on, we'll keep talking. We've still got the jam debate to do. John's doing well. Butter then and jam. Right, so what are we waiting for then? Do you want to open one of your lovely blueberry muffins?
That's enough.
Is it done?
Yeah.
Go on, just give it to... So... yeah. Well, you can tell it's all the Northerners who are watching then, because you're jam girl, aren't you, first?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm jam first.
I'm jam. So everybody, yes, well done. Look at you lot, all butter. It's either jam. Oh, Lorraine Bennett. She's put cream first.
No!
No, it's got to be butter, and if you don't have butter, it's got to be jam, and then you put the cream, because you can't spread the jam.
Are we doing
on-
one of each?
Yeah, you can't spread the jam on top of cream,
I
can you?
don't-
It goes all
I
wussy.
don't think I can do
John,
this.
you're from Ireland. What do you do?
Yeah,
Jam
keep
first.
it
John
out
just
of
eats
it.
it. Yeah, that's
See,
how it's
that-
going to go
that-
on.
that-
So it's jam first with a nice big blob of cream.
That's just how it's
That's
supposed
how it
to
goes.
look, isn't
So if you
it?
put the jam, that's it, perfect. So if you put the cream on now, on the other one,
It just... I don't even know if I can bring myself to do this. If Susie's watching, she's going to go, see, I told you. I've let myself down good style here now.
everybody's saying jam.
In my defence, it's for this. I will never do it. I don't even... How am I supposed to put my jam on top of there? I
Yeah,
don't even-
Doreen Griffin says, you know what, jam first, and to save a row, put it on the top and bottom and be daring.
Well, I've seen people say, oh, here you go, and they just flip them over.
Lorraine Parsnip, she's watching from her hospital bed, it's keeping her sane.
Oh, bless her. Get well soon.
And Lorraine Bennett's voting again twice for cream first. You're losing,
No.
Lorraine. She's losing. You've lost, Lorraine, not a chance. So, as Susan Tyrrell says, if you spell scone with an E on the end, the sound of the O in the middle should be changed to a capital O sound. Scone.
Scone.
Don't know, does that mean it's scone then?
No.
Yeah, John, you're good at English.
It'll be scone in a minute.
Claire Miller says she doesn't sandwich them together. That's an interesting point. Now, in fairness, I sandwich them together and then break them up.
Well, I was going to say,
so it makes sense to have jam on both sides.
If my hubby was here now, he thinks he's getting more, so he'll cut them in half. He'll have 2 and cut them in half, and then he'll have, like, it looks like 4, so he can have double of everything. Yeah. So I can understand that as well.
Yeah.
But it'll still be jam and cream.
Oh, and Joe Twyman is the second one to go cream, then jam.
No,
you lost, Joe, sorry. So we're definitely done on that. How are we doing those muffins in the oven? Are they due to come out?
I don't remember what time we went in. Does anybody remember?
No, I don't remember actually. So should we have a look at these blueberry muffins here anyhow?
Well, I'll just open one up for you there.
Yeah.
Like I said, I know it's not got it inside.
Can they see it on this camera here? So we've opened one up.
There we go. So nice and fluffy.
I'll tell you whether they taste good.
The thing is, it's like you've not got the blueberries down at the bottom, I know that, but the taste, the actual icing sugar will cover that, and I think it looks just nice with the blueberries, and then it's like, it's not going mushy as well when it's baking, so.
Nice big muffin that, Jackie. Very nice.
You just have a look at these.
So we're going to have a look at our muffins.
Get me platform in a minute. Do another, I think about another 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay, so we'll give the muffins another 4 or 5 minutes. So, do you want to repeat the muffin recipe?
Yeah, no problem.
And in the muffin recipe, when Jackie says which sugar, you can actually use any flavoured icing sugar.
Yeah, definitely. I tell you what was nice, I did the other week, I did a batch of 2, so I did blueberries and I did raspberries, and I used the lemon drizzle in it. Oh, they were nice, definitely. So try lemon drizzle and blueberry, really nice. Or lemon drizzle and raspberry. Right, for the muffins.
John's at his scone, he's at his muffin because it's gone quiet.
2 eggs, 250 grams of self-raising flour, 120 mils of milk, 100 grams of sugar, 150 grams of butter, and then blueberries to taste. That's tight. You don't even have to use them if you don't want to. Or like I said, whatever you use in raspberries, whichever. And that's your...
We've got a third one here.
No.
Emily Richards, cream first. And she says she's from Devon. My family are from Devon. We do jam first.
No.
But we're still winning on the jam. So Rob Allen said he would eat them in half because he's only got a small gob.
Yeah.
Don't believe that.
And you see how I've got this. My son had this made for me for Christmas. I love this. It is an actual calendar. But if you're not sure, you go on your sugar and crumbs, and there's one. Say you've made it and you really like it. It's so easy to lose that recipe again. You know, because you have different versions of the same thing, don't you? So sometimes you might like one that's for your taste and the other one's quite not. Write it down. My son bought me this. I love it. The Baking Nanna Bakes. And in the back it's got a bit of a, writing. And I just write down the ones that I found maybe on the internet. I've got quiche on there. I've only done I've been saying this for 2 years. I'm going to write things down, and this is one of the reasons he bought me this, because he said, right, you can start writing things down now. So some of these are my recipes.
I need to start writing everything down. I can't remember what I've got to say.
And like I said, muffins, I've tried a few different recipes. I've done oils, I've done different ways, and I quite like them ones. So that's the one that I wrote down because I know it's the one that I'll use again. So.
Right, they're going to need a little bit longer yet.
Yeah, because they're big ones.
I'm just going to quickly show everybody how big they are, and I'm going to pop them back in the oven. So, and then we'll pop them back in the oven again. Because then we'll have to say goodbye and we can take a picture. These have got lovely rise, guys. Look at the rise on them, they're lovely. They're not done.
No.
So I'm going to put them in the oven again, so you probably won't see them finish, but they look amazing, but they smell gorgeous.
Get a picture.
Yeah, we'll get a picture afterwards. So, oh, the oven, there they go. We'll give them another 5 minutes. So that's us done, isn't it?
Yes.
John, are we over here? So that's us done. So thank you for joining us today. As you know, on a Thursday, it's a baking day. It's using our flavoured sugars. If you can think of things that you want us to use the flavoured sugars in, if Tommy says cheesecake anymore, he spammed our feed today with cheesecake. But I must say, the flavoured icing sugars make amazing cheesecakes. They do, absolutely
and
amazing.
use the flavour instead of using a biscuit base. When I come here before, make a cake base and use the flavour in that as well. So you're getting double.
Good idea.
Really nice.
Good idea. So we're back on Monday night with Marion Frost from Patchwork Cutters. She is going to be using a new cutter. Well, it's a cutter that she already has. It's a swan, but she's going to change it into a flamingo, and she's going to show you how to decorate a side of a cake with flamingo cutters. She's got some other amazing things to show you. You all saw her just before Christmas. You loved her cutters. The flour paste is all in stock as well, and I'm just going to put on the website later today a multi-pack of the flour cutters, the flour modelling paste, Renshaw modelling paste, because it's quite expensive when you're buying a lot. So I'm going to put this little packet of 8 on, so you get 100 grams of each, which is perfect if you want to use different colours, and then buy some extra white because you need plenty of white. I went to Renshaw Academy last Thursday, which is why I wasn't here. That's where I was. So let me show you what I made, Jackie.
Oh, is that not? I was looking at that before. That's beautiful. Oh, wow.
So we went here last week. I went to Renshaw and made this bad girl. So can you see her there, John?
No.
No?
No.
Can you see her? There, if we move in a bit closer. A bit closer. Is she there? Have we got her?
Feet.
Pardon?
Just the feet.
Just her feet. There?
No, we're not going to get it from there.
We're not going to get it. You're going to have to move it.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah? We're there?
No.
No? You have to hold her. So we made this bad girl at Renshaw last week with the flour modelling paste, okay? And this is a set that I'm going to put in. It's a set of 8, so you get it 100 grams of each, which is handy if you don't want a lot of it. To be fair, you only get all the darker colours, so make sure you buy an extra packet of white, so that we used a lot of white and then used the colours to get the other colours, so everything was from that as well. So we're going to go back over to here, are we?
Mm-hmm.
I'm well impressed with that. I never thought I could make one of
them.
them.
In the boxes, I was like, oh,
Which having a look?
I love that.
Yes. So I'm trying to get Georgie Goldbald, I think she's called, up here on the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen to do something, but she's such a busy lady. She's got so many shows to do all over the UK, and you will see her at the Sugarcraft show in Dublin in April. So I am chasing her to get her here. She has promised me she will come and do a demo. So anyhow, that's where we learned that from. But if you get your sugar paste in, Marion has got a great thing, loads of great cakes to show you. We were there with her on Sunday. Let me just put that over there a minute. So I just want to thank everybody who came to Inglewood Manor last Sunday. We had a great day, a fantastic day. So for you ladies who were there then, we had a fantastic time. We did some great demos. And as I say, Marion from Patchwork Cutters will be here on Monday night at 8 o'clock, so showing you some new great ideas. And I think that's all, isn't it?
Well done, yes.
Yeah. And we're snowed in. We should be going to Ireland straight after this session, John and I, but we've had to cancel because we're not going to risk it, because maybe we might not get from them.
No, it's getting back as well.
That's the problem, because they're going to get, they haven't got the snow there yet, but they've only had a light bit, but we've been told that it's forecast over there. So we've cancelled our ferry today. So I'm going to be baking for my Nifty Nozzles class. I've got 1 space left on the Nifty Nozzles class next Saturday if anybody wants to take it. So I'm going to do all my baking, get the cakes in the oven, get the cakes in the freezer over the weekend, ready for next week's class.
Oh, and everyone's side.
Busy. And Maria's got me making a lemon drizzle cake next Thursday, and I'm also going to make some small cupcakes with the gin and tonic and the Prosecco as well. So it's lemon drizzle baking session. And then we're also going to have a chat with Rob and see when we can get Rob down here, because we've missed him today.
Yeah, it's
been
a bit weird,
yeah. So let me just see if these are ready yet. I don't think they will be. Where's the tester? I think we need them for a while, don't we? So
the bad boys, aren't they? That's why.
Bad boys. I'm looking forward to them. They smell really good. So let me just go in again.
No.
They still need it.
Might be in for an hour then.
Yeah, they are. So guys, that's a goodbye from us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
I'll
you
pop a
for coming.
picture on later. One of them when they come out the oven and one when we've all had one each. See you Monday,
Bye.
8 o'clock live. Thank you for joining us. Bye bye.